Guys, it's TRT77, and this week I have my third game of ISL Season 7, and this week we take on a homie Nighto. His team should be on the screen for you guys. I decided out last week I do still want to do team builders, but you know what? I'm gonna just make it funny. I'm just gonna add a censored sign if a set is not shown, if a mon is killed early or something like that. But basically, we almost showed all the sets this week. The only set we didn't show was Mew, so Mew has the whole Johnny Sins logo on him. Of course, you are all church-going good people. You do not know who Johnny Sins is. He's my plumber and my handyman. But yes, moving on. Take a look at his team. Taking a look at his team. Rillaboom, it's like this team kind of just matchup fishes me so hard. Rillaboom is incredibly hard for my team to deal with. Like, Banded Rillaboom on its own is just incredibly hard to deal with. We also have the complications with Celesteela, Mega Camel, all really good against my team. He does have other mons as well. He does have Staraptor, which is again hits like hell, but I think the ultimate weakness of this team comes down to the fact the only defogger he has is Staraptor. So that leads into my plan. I have Galvantula this week with webs. The point is just to toxic Camel. Make sure Camel is in range of everything, or make sure if Camel's sitting there, it can't get a free sub. So toxic is on there for that. Pretty basically lead Galvantula. Should never get and like if I don't feel like leading Galvantula, it's bulky so that it can take hits from Rillaboom. If Rillaboom gets a sub up, I can kill it with Bug Buzz because Grassy Glide won't kill us. Next up we have Klefki. Similar logic. Toxic is there again because there's no way in hell either of these two mons touch Mega Camel other than Toxic. So just to make sure he doesn't get a free sub on either of these things, we always just honestly my goal is just to trade between Camel and Galvantula or Camel and Klefki. I can always get a spike in a screen, and that's probably good enough in the exchange for me. Next up we have Mega Heracross making its debut for the Southside Scissors. Close combat, adamant nature, sub SD with pin missile. This thing hits like a absolute freight train. Base 185 attack is not a joke. Like even resists aren't really resists, and feel like with webs up this thing can really go in. And we do have the opportunity to sub on a few mons. I do feel like if he like Slowbro for one, like it's either gonna die or it's gonna give me a sub, and both are good trades for me because then I kill his option of pivoting. At least one of his major options of pivoting. Next up, we have Tapu Fini. Pretty complex looking spread. Pretty basic actual set. Sub Scald, Ice Beam, Nature's Madness. Scald is just that Fish burns on Celesteela and Rillaboom. Since Rillaboom coming in will set its own terrain. And Celesteela's off the ground. Nature's Madness just to chip things down. Sub is there so that Rillaboom can't sub on me. When I have a sub, he has to hit me. And in that turn, I can probably get a good amount of chip with Ice Beam. Rillaboom's not like Bulu where it's extremely bulky, so I'm not as worried about Rillaboom as I should be with this set because of sub. Next up we have Choice Band Zarude. This set went through a few iterations or a few choices alone, but I felt like Choice Band was the most consistent. Just steady damage, gets it done quickly, gets the job done, in and out. Darkest Lariat does a decent amount and gets good chip on everything. And his Dark Resist is really Alchemy and Greninja. Like, I'm not super inclined on like not locking into Darkest Lariat, and it does a fair amount of damage to Celesteela as well, depending on the bulk. I just threw Grassy Glide on there for the lulz. Honestly, I didn't really need a fourth move on the set so much. Power Whip in terrain is doing more than anything else, so even against Rillaboom, like I can just click U-turn otherwise. So that is basically it. The whole point is to get webs up and make sure Rillaboom's not outspeeding me. If it's Scarf, if he's gonna click U-turn. But if he honestly brings Scarf, I think that's worse for him in this matchup than anything else because it really doesn't kill a whole lot on my team. And that's probably taking away his best breaker against my team. But that's gonna be it for the team builder, guys. Now I'm just gonna jump into the game. Now jumping into the game, guys. As you can see, he hasn't brought the Slowbro, which is both nice, but also like now I don't know how exactly like if I can freely set up a sub as much with Heracross. I mean, Cradily is always an option to set a sub up on. was not expecting to see Cradily in all honesty. We do see the Raptor, we see Mega Camel, we see Rillaboom, and we see Greninja and Selly. Those are pretty much expected. It was just like toss around between them. But the biggest threats obviously Camel and Rillaboom. I'm gonna stick with my Webs plan here, and I'm just gonna force him to try to defog, because if he defogs, he's gonna have to give me a turn, or I get a turn to just bail out with Mega Hera somewhere in between if I don't have a sub. So irrespective, I'm gonna lead Galvantula, try to get the webs up. As expected, really, he does lead the Camel. I'm gonna Toxic first because screw this thing, it's not getting a sub on me. He does EP first, we get to a Sash, and pretty standard. I'm gonna go for my webs, and he's gonna take out Galvantula. Now here, I'm just gonna go into Tapu Fini. I feel like this is pretty straightforward. Like, there's no way he lives any move from Tapu Fini. Most Tapu Finis in general. So I don't think he's going to stay in. So I get a free sub here. He should probably go Cradily, but I wanted to get a sub just in case he makes an aggressive Rillaboom switch here. I don't see the downside. I maybe lose like 18% of health, but I'm not too fussed about that because when we come back in, it's not too difficult. We do get off Nature's Madness and Cradily, and he does reveal the Giga Drain, and we're back up to 88 with Fini with the leftovers anyway. Here I'm going to make a little bit of an aggressive switch. I'm going to go Mega Hera here because I feel like worst case he will just Leech Seed as he does, and it's not the end of the world. Here I'm just going to punch something because that's what Mega Hera does. I'm just going to click the CC. In hindsight, maybe I could have clicked Pin Missile here, but I didn't want to just let in Celesteela. Like, if Celesteela wanted to come in, I wanted to punish that switch really hard. And he goes Rillaboom. Of all things, this was not what I was expecting him to go. He has got quite some bulk to take that hit. I mean, it was always just a roll to kill, but it was still quite a hit to take. But we get a lot of chip off on Rillaboom here. Here, obviously, I'm going to switch out. Even though it's webs, I don't want to risk the fact of him being... We don't know his item. I don't want to risk him being Scarf Acrobatics and killing us. And even otherwise, like, Grassy Glide does way too much. Like, it does like 60 right now if he's banded, because we're at -1 defense, and I just don't want to take the hit. So I'm just going to bail out here, go into Klefki, try to start getting my screens and spikes up, and he does reveal that he's Life Orb. He goes into Camel. Here first, obviously, I have to set up a light screen because one, this is probably, this could kill from certain spreads. We got a very high roll, but he did, I don't think his max attack based on the damage he did. Max special attack, that is. And here, I'm not going to fuss too much. I'm just going to get up my spike. Like, if he kills me, he kills me. He gets up rocks, which confuses me a bit because I'm like, you really don't want this. You don't want to... You're the one who has to defog here, really. And he does go Raptor here, so I'm assuming the defog is going to come here. I'm just going to Toxic Raptor. Decent chip. What else am I going to do, really, with the turn? And I'm just probably going to go back for my spike here. There's not... I went for my Reflect first so that Brave Bird or Double-Edged Guaranteed didn't kill. I'm assuming he was locked in there because I think he should have just like tried to pick me off. Because I think he's seen all 4 moves on me. But irrespective, now with Camel, and I'm going to click the spike. And he reveals the rest, which I really don't... I don't think this is a problem at all. Because this is now giving me 2 free turns. Because you don't first turn wake up off rest. I'm going to go into Hera. I'm going to click sub. And surely he does go Rillaboom. But we have the Reflect up, so remember this. He Grassy Glides. It's not going to break sub. And Mega Hera is going to pick off its first kill of the season on its debut as Rillaboom goes down. Now, here for a second I panicked in my head because, you know, that's who I am. I was like, okay, does he have dual wing beat? And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm in, I'm staying in. This is whatever. If he wants to go for it, he can go for it. I'm here. I'm going to just take this. He does click Brave Bird, and we are going to take out Staraptor with a close combat. So Mega Hera already eliminating 2 of his biggest offensive threats in the first 17 turns of the game, which actually sounds like a lot now, but it's quite early game. And here I'm going to switch out because I have nothing to fear. Heavy Slam is doing nothing because of the Reflect of Fini. If he wants to go for Grassy move, I'm pretty sure he's not terrain boosted because he's off the ground, so it doesn't matter to me. And irrespective, Fini is just a safe switch here. And also we get up our own terrain. What was I thinking? Either way. He's gonna go into Credilly. I'm just gonna click the Nature's Madness because I can just get the Celesteela into range of, like, guaranteed range of Heracross. And now with this thing in here, I'm gonna double into Zarude because I don't want to take a unnecessary lead seed again on Heracross, and I think Zarude is pretty free now. Like, without worrying about Rillaboom or Staraptor, it's pretty free right now. And like, even Rillaboom, like, after I saw Life Orb, it wasn't really gonna be a threat. He goes into Celesteela here, and I have a decision on this turn. Do I switch? Do I just go for Chip? And like, the thing is, me switching around here, I'm probably playing into his game because at some point he's going to get another turn of sleep burnt on Camerupt, and then it's going to be an issue. It's going to just be annoying. So the other thing is also, Greninja is at full. It can be annoying, but we have such a physically defensive Feeny. I'm not too worried about Gunk Shot shenanigans. It can't one-shot Mew or Mega Heracross. So even if that's his endgame option, like, I think if there's an endgame option, is this thing. So I'm going to stay in here. I'm going to click Banded Darkest Lariat, and my god, he is no HP Celesteela, or he's very little HP, if any. And I'm assuming he's probably outspeeding, like, I don't know. I don't know what exactly he was speed creeping here, to be honest. I think maybe Mega Heracross, but it doesn't outspeed Adamant. But irrespective, we get a huge chunk off on Celesteela here. And I'm just going to stay and click the Darkest Lariat. I have no reason to switch. He goes Greninja, takes the spikes, and he does get crit here, which I don't know if this crit mattered because irrespective here, I'm always staying in. Because for one, I'm expecting him to U-turn, and I would rather he kill me and go into whatever he's going into, and then I get the momentum. So my play here is just to sack Zarude, but he goes for the Hydro Pump and misses, and I'm sorry for that because that is going to cost him differential for sure. Because I don't think it cost me the game at this point if I lost Zarude, really. And Zarude does pick up another kill, does take out Greninja, and Zarude should clean from here. He goes into Camel, takes the spike. I'm just going to stay in and keep clicking Lariat. He's on his second turn of sleep. Obviously, he can't wake up because it was a rest-induced sleep. Zarude takes out Camel. Then he goes Credilly, which again, that spike is just wearing these bigger mons down. And I think Credilly died irrespective of the spike, honestly. But he goes into Celesteela, and we already saw it do 59. So Zarude is going to clean here, picking up 4 clean kills. GG's to Nighto. I'm sorry for the Hydro Pump miss because that definitely sucked differential-wise. But I think this was a pretty clean game. Like, I feel like Mega Hera really pulled in the cheeks. I feel like Mega Camel being rest was probably a misplay on his part because, like, the second I saw rest, I was like, free turns. I have to utilize these free turns. Like, there's no way I'm gonna sit there and with Klefki and just let him rest up and then get back to full. That's not the plan. The other thing was maybe, I don't know, I was quite fearful of Rillaboom, but at the end of the day, I think the fact that he traded it for Heracross was a big boon for us. Although, to be fair, I don't think he had anything else he could have traded for Heracross. If he traded Greninja, he just lost his Zarude. So I think that was the big issue for him. But GG's to Nighto. This takes us to 3-0 plus 9, I want to say. We finally got some differential on the board. I'm assuming we break the top 2 this week because of Lambo's lost to Blitz. But I'm not sure. We will see by the end of the week. We'll see our ratings. We do take on Nintago next week. That should be an absolute banger of a game. Unless I get completely rolled, which hopefully I won't. But you never know with these things. But that's probably just going to be it for me, guys. This is TRT77, and this is me signing off.